Welcome, everybody. We're speaking again with Ted Savransky, professional sports bettor out in Las Vegas, and we're going to talk in this video about updated or trending odds in the Super Bowl that's coming up, Super Bowl 50, where these future odds lay, what team has the advantage, what team could be a dark horse, and perhaps what teams pretty much valued right where they should be. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ted. Ted, we love having you on with us with these videos. What are your thoughts on the Super Bowl future odds, and is there a dark horse that you see in the making, and who's sitting pretty much where you think they should be?
Well, it's funny because this is a very rare year. There's no favorite. There's absolutely no favorite to win the Super Bowl right now. And if you go from sportsbook to sportsbook, you go to Bookmaker, Chris, or you go to Penny, you're going to see the Patriots as the favorite. You go to the Westgate here in Las Vegas, you're going to see Arizona as the chalk. Other books have Denver as well. Sorry, not Denver, Carolina
Mm-hmm.
as a favorite because they have enormous liability on the Panthers. You've got the Broncos in the mix as low as in the 5 and 6 to 1 range. We're talking about one of these seasons, one of these rare seasons where there's no favorite. You know, any one of these teams at the top is priced accordingly. And that does offer bettors one advantage. It means that if there's one of these top teams that you like, you're going to get a little bit better numbers than you normally would. Most years, at this stage of the season, the very top teams, you're looking at 2 to 1 or 5 to 2. And this year, really, if you shop around, you can find a 4 to 1 or close to it on every single team out there. So that does offer bettors a legitimate opportunity if they have the ability to shop for lines. But look, if there's one point I want to make in this video, it is this point. Betting futures is the lazy way to do it. It's not the most profitable way. It's the easiest way. What professional bettors do here in Las Vegas, instead of taking Team X, I don't care who you want, the Seahawks. You want the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl? Great. This is what you do. Instead of betting Seattle to win it all right now, you take your wager and you bet the Seahawks on the money line this week against the Panthers. Seattle wins that game, you roll it over. You take your money that you originally bet and the profits that you just earned from Seattle winning the game at Carolina, and you bet all that on the Seahawks the next week, where, again, they're likely to be underdogs, whether they go to Arizona or Green Bay. Boom, you roll that over. Seattle wins, they make the Super Bowl. Now you got a nice chunk of cash, and you don't have to hedge against yourself. You can pull it all back and hold it. You can bet it all on Seattle on the money line of the Super Bowl. You can take some of it and bet it on the money line of the Super Bowl and some of it and put it in your pocket. It gives you options. And if you do roll it over 1, 2, 3 bets, guess what? You're going to end up with better than the 6 to 1 odds that you got for the future book. So from the future book. So I understand future book wagers, they're easy, they're attractive. There's also a reason that they're on full display at every single sports book in Las Vegas all year round, prominently displayed, because the books make a killing off those bets. If you take your money line and you roll it over and you roll it over and you roll it over, even if you like a favorite, you like the Patriots, you take your money line and roll it over 3 times, you're going to make more money doing that than you will just betting New England on the future book odds. So it's a lazy bet, plain and simple. I know people like to talk about it. They like to say, "Oh, I cashed this ticket 10 to 1, 20 to 1, 50 to 1." It's not the bet. It's not the best bet that bettors can make when it comes to betting on any given team between now and Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, and we've spoken several videos about that, Ted, and you've always said the same thing. It's a lazy bet, and it's nothing that really intrigues you. And I agree. And this year there's just no clear cut favorite, and it could go any direction. And like Seattle 6 to 1, and again, even though you're not big on this and feel that it's a lazy bet, and I totally agree, and I understand. Had you had to just pull a dark horse who you think might just be the one to go with, well, is there one that sticks out, or if not, that's okay also in wrapping this up?
Well, I mean, I tend to look for longer shots in a year. What's that's the old horse racing adage. When they're co-favorites, bet the long shot, bet the dog. And in a year where there is no clear cut favorite, I'm much more inclined to look at, Green Bay at 16-1 or 18-1, or something like that, than I would be to look at one of the many co-favorites. I think Denver is slight. I know that I was ripping Peyton Manning earlier in an earlier video, but I do think that of all the teams in the postseason, Denver has the easiest path to
Mhm.
the Super Bowl. I think that the Broncos may be a little bit undervalued in that regard, but I would tend to look for longer shots, not the co-favorites at this time of the year. I just don't think there's a whole lot of value. Betting the Patriots at 3-1 or 9-2 or whatever number you get them. One thing that again we've talked about before, but I'm going to talk about it again here. You've got to shop around for the best numbers. I mean, just in
Yeah.
doing the article and doing the prep for the video, I found it. I mean, like Green Bay, you go to one book, they're 8-1. You go to another book, they're 17-1. That's today,
Yeah.
you know, today, not 50 years ago, or not. Oh, you could have got this last week. That's right now. The odds do legitimately vary significantly from sportsbook to sportsbook, and bettors would serve themselves well by shopping around a little bit before they get down their wager.
Yeah, and you've said that. You've said that several times with futures. I mean, it depends on what book and where. There's no consistency, not like a side or a total where the difference is very slight. And an interesting point, Ted, the two teams that you picked out kind of like because of value and maybe a dark horse, Packers and Denver. Look at that. Both of them pedigree, like you always mention, and championship experience, on the winning side. So that's interesting. All right, Ted, thank you for your time. And viewers, you heard it out there. And take a peek at that and heed to that knowledge from Ted Savransky. Ted, look forward to having you back again with us real soon. Have a great evening and go ahead and keep beating the book.
I'll do my best, my friend. Thank you, Mike. Have a great night.